This weekend, I took the kids to Disneyland to use our magic keys in this weird time between Christmas and Halloween. We didn't have any real plans going into our day at Disney, so I just let the kids pick what they wanted to do, and the first thing they agreed on was Animation Academy, where we all tried to draw Jack Skellington. I thought the kids actually did a pretty decent job with their drawings, and when they were done, they wanted to go to Turtle Talk with Crush. Bailey actually got picked to ask Crush a question, and at the end, she even got a sticker that said, "I talked turtle." Then the kids did want to go on their first ride, and they picked Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. Normally, I don't love this ride, but I was excited that we got my favorite song, Hit Me With Your Best Shot. After Guardians, the kids wanted to go and watch Mickey Mouse Clubhouse live because they actually really like this show, and they were excited that it was back to this show because the Halloween version had ended. If you haven't seen this show, definitely check it out because it's super cute. Once the show was over, the kids were ready for a snack and some water, and they wanted a giant pretzel at Pim's Test Kitchen. And then it was time to go on a whole bunch of rides in a row. We started with Silly Symphony Swings, followed by Jumping Jellyfish, and then Jesse's Critter Carousel. And then the kids asked to go on Toy Story Midway Mania. But once we were off Midway Mania, the kids were feeling pretty done with California Adventure, and they wanted to park hop over to Disneyland. We just made one final stop at DCA on our way to Disneyland for the kids to grab ice cream at Clarabelle's. I like to get ice cream at Clarabelle's when the kids want it because I like that they can easily get a triple scoop to share. Then, once we park hopped over to Disneyland, we had excellent timing and ran into Minnie Mouse right away. Minnie was already done doing meet and greets when we walked into Disneyland, so we got in line for Chip and Dale, but while we were waiting for Chip and Dale, we actually got to say hi to Minnie and Mickey. And then a few minutes later, we also saw Donald Duck while we were still waiting for Chip and Dale. We also ended up being one of the last groups to meet Chip and Dale, which worked out well because when they left, Clarabelle actually came out right after them. So we only really meant to wait in line for two characters, but ended up meeting a whole bunch. Then our next stop was in front of the train station to watch the Disneyland Band. My kids love to watch the Disneyland Band, and so do I. Then for their next stop, the kids wanted to head into Galaxy's Edge, where we said hi to some stormtroopers on our way to Smuggler's Run, which happened to be the shortest wait time of the day. And on this ride, we ended up getting paired with the nicest father and daughter. The dad we got paired with was actually a pilot in real life, and it was really nice to be with someone on Smuggler's Run who had some idea what they were doing. And he was very sweet to our son who was acting as pilot with him. For our next stop, the kids wanted to go on Rise of the Resistance, but unfortunately by the time we got over there, the ride was actually broken. So instead, the kids asked for dinner and they wanted to get pizza at Alien Pizza Planet in Tomorrowland. And then after dinner, the kids were pretty much done. The only other thing we did was walk out on Main Street, and on our way out, each of the kids picked out a little toy. Phoenix's pick was my favorite. He got this new Dorable, which actually ended up being a Space Mountain vehicle with Mickey as his character. Then Skylar got a Star Tours ride vehicle, and Bailey got a Marie plush keychain.